Hey, good Friday morning and welcome to the WLBB Community Voice here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Streaming live online at newstalk1330.com. And this morning we're on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. So good morning to you. Man, I am in a great mood this morning. It is a beautiful day other than, a little bit of rain. Steve Graddick's here making us feel cozy. And we got two great guests sitting across the table from me. One of my favorites of all time, Heather Mecillas. She's with the Haralson County Sheriff's Office. And then she brought Stacy, too. He's the sheriff. Haralson County Sheriff Stacy Williams. Thank you guys for coming out this morning. And I think we decided we need to bring Heather more often.
We do.
Because she brought the goods this
right.
morning. Brought coffee and little chicken sandwiches. So future guests, if you want to follow that lead, that would be all right. But again, thank you guys for coming out this morning to talk about what's going on in Haralson County. You see, about a week ago, Carroll County had this fentanyl awareness summit. But it was Carroll County. It was focused on Carroll County. Had a lot of Carroll County. It was all focused on the people who from Carroll County who maybe had deaths in their family caused by fentanyl. I'm guessing Haralson County probably does have a similar situation. They're dealing with that as well.
We do. Fentanyl is here. If you go back and look at, I was reading some of Carroll County's figures and stats from the coroner and on overdoses. In 21, we had right around 120 overdoses. We Narcaned about 90 plus of those, and out of that, we've had somewhere.
Those are all fentanyl overdoses.
Well, no, it's a combination. When the time the autopsy come back in, I didn't ever get a final report on it, but it was related to, it was a drug overdose. But 30 to 36, and there was I think it was 6 of them that was still pending at the time when we got our information. So fentanyl in the last 4 or 5 years has really made a comeback. It comes from China. It comes in on the southern border. It comes across. They put it in all the ingredients, from the meth to the heroin to whatever it is that they're using. People always ask, what is fentanyl? Well, fentanyl is like a synthetic drug, and it's used for pain. People with absolute severe pain. It's, I think it's like 100 times stronger than morphine, or 1,000 times. It really is. And a lot of people get it in patches. They'll put it on their body because people's on hospice. It cuts the pain, so it's so much. And it only takes, if I could show you, you could take salt and pour it out, and it would, I'd say just half of a fingernail like that right there would be able to just wipe out hundreds or not thousands. That's how strong it is. It's just, and how they put it into the drugs like it, there's no unmeasured amount. And sometimes that's sort of what it leads to. A lot of times it comes from pills. They put it in the pill forms. I think from my experience, what I've seen is, when they go out here and they make these pills, and they put it in there to give it an extra bump, to a high or whatever it is. And the creator of it, when they put too much in there, and they say this pill gets a little bit too much more of it than another one, well, there you go. And it causes disastrous.
But they're not worried about it, the creator does. They're not worried about losing their customers.
Drug dealers are worried about one thing, and that's their profit.
Well, but they're not going to make a profit. They keep killing their customers, right?
No, but they got a whole society out here to sell it to. Mm-hmm. It's just like everything else. They cut their losses and they go on and they look for more markets to get into. So.
Well, there was some big news, I guess, maybe a couple weeks ago, is another arrest. There was a big arrest. I think it was cocaine, right, that you guys made an arrest. It might have been like the 8th big drug dealer that you guys had put behind bars in the last 2 or 3 months. So is that all just accidental and coincidental, or are you guys, out there? That
was related to a vehicle stop, and we took part in it with another agency, with the Georgia State Patrol. And one thing led to another, and voila, he was a drug courier. And it was 4.5 pounds of cocaine, and that's a lot off the street. And what people got to remember, being in the outskirts of Atlanta like this, Atlanta being the southeastern hub for the United States, all the drugs come to Atlanta, then they turn around, that's where they get redistributed out to. It comes to our community. About a year and a half ago, our DTF unit, Haralson Paulden Drug Task Force, shut down a meth lab, or a conversion lab, that was probably about $2 million worth of methamphetamines and things like it. And that was a major blow to our area, because it was within our region, in our area. And every day that when it goes to Atlanta, when it comes in Atlanta, it filters back out into our community. And this is what we're fighting. So it's we're lack on resources, personnel, money, equipment, and I mean, we're not going to win. If you say it's a war against drugs, we're not going to win it. As long as we got open borders and it comes across the border in the quantities and the way it is, and it's so profit driven and things like it. I think the federal government, and we've all as shares, we've contacted, all the way up to the president, and we have begged them to do something about the border, and and then we would see the trickle down effects here in our area because there would be less of it. And I'm glad we're not on the border right now, because an agency on the border, these agencies just get hammered. It is ungodly what is going on down there. So
we talk about Atlanta being a hub. Do we see like Haralson County residents going to Atlanta to get that, or are people coming from Atlanta to Haralson County to sell it and bring the big old?
People from this area go to Atlanta, and it's all connected to the drug cartel. They're the ones bringing it in, and they got their people, and that's where they get it, and they bring it back and put it in their community. That last drug bust we got, 11 pounds, he was selling specifically in Haralson County and in Carroll County, and the part in Paulding. But that was 11 pounds, and if you do the numbers, 11 pounds equals about 4,900 and something grams, and the typical person that's going on the street is going to buy 1 to 3 grams of meth when they buy it, $20 a gram. If you buy 3 grams, you might get it instead of 60, you might get it for $50. Well, if you divide 3 into 4,900, I think 86 is what that equals. That's over 1,600 people if all of them bought 3 grams. So when we look at that lick, as far as stopping that's at least 1,600 people that's not going to wake up the next day and go buy meth from this guy or be distributed in their county. And that's a huge success. We get calls all the time about, hey, there's a dope house over here, there's a dope house over there. And we check this out, but a lot of times it's just a house of ill repute, they don't have the morals. We go to bed at night, they stay up all night, and you do have people running in and out. But if you're going to make a dent in it, you got to get the major players and stop the flow coming in. When we done that, was like cutting a 10-inch water main off and everybody below it run out of water. They woke up next day and they said, okay, where am I going to get your stuff from? Because it just sent disastrous effects across the system as it relates to that. So that was a big hit right there.
When you feel like you arrest somebody, do you think that there's just somebody else waiting in the wings to take that spot? I mean, is it
every day? Every day. If you take one off street, it takes about 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, and somebody else is going to step up.
Because those people who are used to buying that person, they're going to have to find it somewhere. And
the
then
market
once
is still
somebody
there.
Finds out that somebody needs it, then they're going to.
Well, the market's still there, and it's all profit driven. Drug dealers don't care about what it does to their communities. We go to so many houses, we see so many kids living in bad conditions, parents on drugs, alcoholics or whatever, and the kids suffer. And we see this all the time. And I tell people this: I swore to uphold the law for the citizens of Haralson County, and I've made it my life mission. You might not have swore to uphold the law, but I did, and we did. So we're going to make a difference. We're going to stop this poison being served in our community, whether you're using it or whether you're selling it. It doesn't matter, because the users are the one that keeps the drug dealers in business. It's a hierarchy here. We got to stop it. And the ones we do catch, we just don't lock them up. We try to get them help. We got reintegration programs. I got mental health coming into the facility. We got reintegration, talking about drug twice a week. We're helping them find jobs when they get out and things like that. And it's just, we're helping them. We're giving them educational tools, tablets to educate themselves while they're inside the facility, while they're locked up, where they can take education. We had 2 graduate 3 weeks ago got their GED, something that they never got on the outside, and it was free. It didn't cost them nothing. And these services don't cost the taxpayers of Haralson County anything. These are services we went out, built bridges, partnered with, like our religious services. We got John Ellis with the Refuge in Tallapoosa. We have that ministry right here. We direct all of our pastors that wants to come up and bring the Word of God to our inmates, and we let them dole it out and section it out to where put it on rotation. Last year alone, we baptized at least 25 people last year in the year 2022. And that's just awesome. And it's changing lives. It's changing behavior, and that's what we want to do. We're here to help people. We're not here to hurt people. So I'm very proud of that.
We're going to take our first break here, but let me ask you this before we get to the break. We got Josh is directing this morning. I want to keep him attentive to the program. But now Carroll County and Haralson County, they're in two separate judicial districts. Now, Coweta County District Attorney Herb Cranford over the last month has said that he wants to look into start prosecuting drug dealers when they give drugs that eventually lead to somebody's death. Now, that's in the Coweta County Judicial Circuit. Now, in the Tallapoosa Judicial Circuit, you made an arrest last year, which is kind of already doing that. Where do you see that going, and where is that right now?
Well, that's up for a judge and a jury to decide. We made the case based off of the evidence at hand. I feel like, if you look at the law, they're committing a felony when they're selling this drug, or when they're possessing it, selling it to the people. Other jurisdictions across the state has stepped up to the plate. It's new fertile ground to go after this right here, but in the way I view it is no, we're going to do it. And we work with our DA, we talk to them, we give them the evidence of what we got. They're the ultimate decision maker, but we're going to go forward with it. So if you sell drugs and you kill somebody, or it leads to their death, I promise you, we're going to charge you.
All right, we're going to take a break right now, but before we do that, can you name every single deputy that works for you?
No.
All right, time right now is 8:42. We're going to take our first break here on this morning's Community Voice program. Our show brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
As a believer in the power of education, we are called to set the standard by shaping and empowering the minds of future generations through quality education. Oak Mountain Academy embraces this philosophy, which is why my children attend this prestigious school. I am elated to serve on the OMA Board of Trustees, where together we prepare students and remind them to trust and believe in the power to transform the world. I'm Dr. Brian Bain, inviting you to celebrate our 60-year legacy of academic excellence. Visit us at oakmountain.us.
Time right now is 8:43. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice program here on News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. Streaming live on the News Talk 1330 WLBB Facebook page. Sheriff Stacy and PIO Heather, our guests on this morning's Community Voice program. So if you have any questions or comments, I do encourage you to post them there, and I will pass those along. Heather has kind of taken on a new position over the last 2 months. She's always been, my public information officer go-to. I think Ivy started out, right? He was initially the guy to do it, and then Heather kind of she just became the go-to, and now she's officially the PIO. And but you're taking her away from some things as well that she's been doing, and it's a tough gig. But I'm glad she's able to focus on me now full time.
I'm glad I am too.
How about that move? You mind talking about that a little bit? The position that you were in, and because you were dealing with some pretty stressful situations that, after a while, that's got to weigh on you. The things you were seeing.
In CID, I worked crimes against children for 6 years. And it's the last few have been really hard because mentally, when you're seeing incest, child molestations, child pornography, constantly on, it just gets to you.
You got to go to court too, and
talk to go to court and talk about it. So it got to the point where it was just really weighing on me. They realized that, so they offered me this position, Press Information Officer, Public Relations. I am assisting the sheriff in things that he needs up front. I'm over the office staff.
Needy,
I know he is. Office staff. I'm making sure that everything runs smoothly. Our GCIC runs smoothly. I'm over all of that, and Press Information, Public Relations now. So.
And I want to say that it's kind of with Meredith Browning. I think she was kind of in that same situation in Carrollton. She was doing the CID for a long time.
Heather Browning.
No, it's
Meredith Browning.
Oh, you're talking about
Carrollton, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she did the same
kind of
thing.
Similar, and she's doing PIO now. But good. I'm glad that she's just easier. She's always been easy to get in touch with, and but now she can get back to me quicker. Instead of 5 seconds, she can do it
in 3.
In 3 seconds.
Okay, I'll do it in 3.
That's what we'll count on from now. Stacy Williams, Haralson County Sheriff, and Heather Mecillas, investigator.
Is Sergeant. Sergeant Heather Mecillas, Press Information Officer.
Hey, can anybody be a deputy, Haralson County? Do you have to actually be an officer to be a deputy, or can you just say, hey, this guy's my deputy and he's going to be my public information officer?
Typically, that's the way it goes. Okay,
But you have to be.
As a sheriff, I can rally up what's called a sheriff's posse, and they have the same judicial during the time of this incident. So
just like a specific incident.
Yeah,
that sounds like it'd be dangerous.
Back in the old days, back in the old days, the sheriff used to command a posse up, how many people it was, and they'd go find somebody on a manhunt or something like that. But as time got on, we're faced. Everything we do is liability driven. Everything we do is liability driven. So nowadays, no, you just don't hand out badges and guns and stuff like that. So we send them to school, we train them. We got a Jam Up FTO field training officer program now, and it's working real great.
It is working great. So how is it as far as how many deputies do you think you guys are short right now, if at all?
We are, according to the standard, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but when it comes to the police department, a sheriff's office, whatever it is, when it comes to, there's a formula you have to go out here. Last year we answered right around 19,000 calls, 3,000 something reports. I don't know how many arrests, but you factor all this in, and then it gives you from the Sheriff's Association to the National Police Association, all these. There's a formula, and if I remember correctly, we right now the sheriff's office, we need 5 deputies per shift. I'm sorry, 5 deputies per 24-hour period per shift. So right now I've got 3 deputies working patrol, and then I have I have a civil division, which is another 2 that's working, but they've got other duties who can be a deputy if a call comes out. So I'm going to say at least 1 to 2 per shift.
I think that's what the paperwork shows that the chief had the other day was 2 per shift. We're short right now.
Okay.
So are you guys lacking that because of not enough funds in the budget available to you, or it's just hard? Is it pay?
It's a combination. Yeah. One of the biggest factor is I think I checked day before yesterday, and we got 1 application in what I call the kitty for somebody. Nobody wants to do this job no more. We start out at $38,000 to $41,000. You start looking at other agencies around us, and when it comes to the budget time, when you look at your commissioners and stuff like that, when they want to pay, and the sheriff sets the pay, but it has to be within your budget. I decide that, but I have to have the money to be able to do it. But when you start looking outside your area, you look at Carroll County. Everybody's went up down here. They start out around $48,000 to $50,000. You get to Douglas County, they're in the $60,000 to $70,000 range. You look at Fulton County, they just raised theirs to $70,000. You look at Paulding County, I don't know the exact number, but it's $55,000 or $60,000, and here we are at $38,000 to $41,000.
How about Cleburne or Calhoun County? I'm thinking of more rural.
I don't know what Heather might know.
I think Cleburne's a little bit lower than us at this point.
Yeah.
But now you're getting into a different state, different criminal procedures, criminal justice system, and things like that. But for us,
does that matter for criminals? I think about with you guys. You guys are right up there with Cleburne County, and it's woods.
They jump across the line. They'll commit a crime at Cleburne and run over to us. They'll commit a crime in Haralson and run to Cleburne. Mm-hmm. We communicate really well with the Cleburne County Sheriff's Office because we're constantly having to go back and forth, just like Carroll County does with Cleburne, because it's always back and forth.
Connected. Yeah.
We got a new sheriff over there, John Daniels.
Right.
New chief deputy.
Patrick Nolan.
Yeah, Patrick, and. They're doing great. We got a good working relationship with them. We like that big drug case we had here a while back. We tracked the guy over to Anniston, Alabama, and anyway, coming back, and he was one of our targets. And anyway, we got him pulled over. Cleveland County pulled him over and they ended up getting probably around 14 to 15, almost less than a pound of meth off of him and stuff like that. And then we turned around 3 weeks later and got him again here, because that just goes to show they're not going to stop what they're doing until you just absolutely stop them. So, but we got a good working relationship. But working out, when you cross that line, what people don't understand is they get used to it. When you cross that line, that's like being in a different country, different set of laws, different set of procedures, different. We have reciprocal agreements, a lot of things from Georgia, Alabama, and a lot of other states. But when you cross that line, you're in Alabama. It's a total different. The way they police over there is different than the way we police here, and it's based off their criminal statute of their constitutional laws. What's legal in Georgia might be illegal in Alabama, and what's legal in Alabama might be illegal in Georgia. So, it's just different, and our authority stops at that Alabama line.
As far as retaining officers, do you think is it easier to retain maybe Haralson County, people who are proud of the community who grew up there and stayed there? I mean, not to begrudge them for finding a better opportunity financially or anything like that for their family, but do they tend to stay?
Well, a lot of people that I talk to, people get into law enforcement for various reasons. I knew when I got into it, I wanted to serve my community. I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to help the little guy. I wanted to do the right thing. I wanted to catch the bad guy.
Well, you served the U.S. You served the U.S. as a whole. Man, you served the world, actually.
Seven to point. I was on the international. So international, state, city, and now county. So I've had the full spectrum of what I've done. But, I talk to guys. I always do interviews with them when I come in. I always ask them, why do you want this job? Why do you want to do this? And a lot of them is community-based. They want to put back in their community. If you're looking at pay, the pay ain't gonna make you a rock star, or it ain't gonna make you a millionaire and all this other stuff. So there's a lot of personal dedications and sacrifice when you do this job. And this ain't like a job where when you go home down day, it's over and done. It ain't like that. We work a rotating shift, 5 days one week, 2 days next. You got court training. You always got something going on. And
You're not always adored.
Huh?
You're not always adored. I mean, even despite your intentions.
No, our job is not to make people happy. Our job is to do the right thing, and we strive on it. I tell my deputies, our job is to help people first and foremost. We never want to hurt nobody. We never want to go out here and make nobody mad. But when we investigate, I tell them we have a line of integrity here. We're going to do the right thing. At the end of the day, we are going to do the right thing. Do we make mistakes? Yes, sir. We all make mistakes. Mm-hmm. But as soon as we correct, as soon as we find out we made a mistake, we take the right corrective action to undo what we did. But we have a line of integrity. I make them adhere to that. And when they go out here and do their job, when we investigate something, we're investigating that the person did it. We're looking for facts. We're looking for the truth. That is our job. But also, just as hard, we're trying to prove that the person didn't do it. And if the facts doesn't equal probable cause to make it arrest, we don't arrest them.
So. Time right now is 8:53. We're going to take our final break, and we could talk till probably 9:30 without a problem. I mean, since you brought Heather. Chatting so much. We'll take our final break here. Go back with about 6 minutes. This morning's Community Voice brought to you by Tanner Health System and Oak Mountain Academy.
Health is a journey. It's making better choices, even when it's not easy. It's taking care of yourself and the people you love. At Tanner Health System, we're there for you with every step, with primary care, heart care, cancer care, women's care, orthopedics, surgical services, and so much more. We're dedicated to helping you live and feel your best. So let's get on that journey to health. You've got places to be for many years to come. Find us at tanner.org.
I'm Michael Flynn, Oak Mountain Academy class of 1978.
Katie Flynn, class of 2010.
Justin Flynn, class of 2014.
Logan Flynn, class of 2019.
And I'm Marnie Flynn, current teacher at OMA.
My uncle Richard Orm Flynn, a founding father of Oak Mountain Academy, had a vision to see students become confident leaders who hold a faith-based value system in an academically rigorous environment. We are proud to celebrate 60 years of fulfilling my uncle's vision.
Our family invites you to visit the campus or oakmountain.us today.
8:54. Welcome back to the WLBB Community Voice News Talk 1330 FM 106.3. I'm Colin Worthington. Our guest this morning, Heather Mecillas, Stacy Williams with the Haralson County Sheriff's Office. There's like 15 ways you can say that last name. And I think when you and I first met, I was very confident about the way I said it, and you finally just said, "No, that's not right."
This is true.
It is true.
I think it took
Try
me.
to be nice.
I think it took me like 6 months to get it right.
I know. Look at that. It's not that hard of a name, but apparently it is for some people. All right, guys, 5 minutes. I think you guys are going to have to present your budget. Is it this month or next month?
It is. We're going to submit it. We'll have it submitted days of deadline on that. But I don't know when we'll actually sit down and do budget talks. But, yeah, it's coming up. We're in the budget season.
How about the last year? What did you guys make a lot of equipment purchases? I think I remember seeing that there's some new cars. I may have seen that on a Facebook post or something
so we bought in the last year, and you have to understand, I know it's getting in Haralson County, but when we took over office, most of our cars had anywhere from 80 to 100 to 400,000 miles on the cars. And the cars was breaking down just every time you turn around. I think first year we spent $6,000 just on record fees, hauling cars in, getting them fixed, motors going out, transmissions going out. And this is stuff, when you talk about a budget, you can plan, you can put X amount of money in the budget, but man, I'm going to tell you what, when you start having to break down like that, they go out pretty quick. But so in the last year, one of the biggest things we had to do was, I said, we had to fix this problem. We had to bring things within control, within spec, and and get bang for buck. So in the last year, we bought 10 Ford Explorers, patrol cars, brand new ones, and the taxpayers of Haralson County hasn't paid for the first car. We went out here, we used ARPA money, which is federal funding, we used grant money, we used splash money, which is 1% sales tax, and we bought 10 cars. Nobody's property taxes went up one penny, because of this. And then we got a grant in right now with the U.S. Department of Agriculture. That gets us 2 vehicles a year. They reimburse us 50%. So I'm gonna buy 2 vehicles. I can buy a brand new Tahoe I can get it for about $18,000. It's a $50,000 vehicle, and you can't beat that. And that's what we've done the whole time. We got a proficient grant writer. We got all kinds of grants. I'm fixing to get a $311,000 grant, equipment grant from the government. We're fixing to put in another one to get all kinds of equipment, and it takes a lot of time to do this. You got to have the right people, know what they're doing.
And they set dates when they can, by the time that the grant has to be put in, and when they'll distribute it and all that.
And it's wonderful.
We've got 2 minutes. I want to make sure we give a shout out to some people that have posted this morning. Lyndon Smith wants to be a deputy. So Lyndon, do you know Lyndon?
Lyndon's a great guy. Okay. Yeah, call him Gunny.
Okay. Lisa Lee says great job and thank you. Edna Hurst Young, she says, Sheriff Stacy Williams, I think you're doing a great job cleaning up our county. Also, your deputies, thank you all very much. Juan Carlos Ferrero, he's a Carroll County guy. He says the fact that there are so many guns around, wouldn't that be a deterring people from joining the force and becoming deputies? Do you think more guns to help the police? Do you think more guns help the police, or it's the opposite?
I think it makes us a safer environment as long as the people use it within the right way. But
that was a kind of political question.
A very proponent of the Second Amendment. If you ain't got a gun, I tell people, come by, we'll let you check one out. I want you to have a gun if you're legally to possess one. And the way we do that is everybody we come in contact with, everywhere you go, you got to know there's a gun there, for good or bad or what, for good purposes or for evil purposes. But I just want the people to know, I know we're closing up, but I want people to know we're here to do the right thing for the citizens of Haralson County. We work our butts off to make sure, and we're trying to do the right and the best job we can for the citizens, whether it be on the street, internally, budget season, and stuff like that. In the last year, we've had to deal with 12 to 13% inflation. I mean, my Lord, I've never seen this since the early 80s, and we're doing our best. We have cost overruns, like food for the jail. You talking about our jail's overpopulated right now. Only hold 127. I got 140 in there right now. And that's
you got them in the jail, or you got them over in Paulding County?
Well, I got 8 in Paulding County right now because we don't have the excess space, and then it's a worker security. It's a security issue for my workers. And we curtail to our inmates. I mean, they just because they're locked up. No, I mean, I don't look at that right there. They got rights, and we're here to make sure we ensure that we ensure the rights of the people.
I got 30 seconds. When were you elected? When did your term start?
January 1st of 2021.
So
elections next year.
Next year.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna qualify?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming in. Heather, always great to see you, and thank you for bringing coffee.
You're very welcome.
I'm glad you're here too, Stacy. Stay tuned for national news coming up at 9 o'clock, and followed by Glenn Beck, and then we'll have local news comes back about 9:30, so stick around for that. Again, thank you guys for coming in. And
thank you.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening this morning. Have a great weekend, everybody.